And we haven't even started talking about the offensive line. We have one non-returning starter.
Yep, that's it. And I think his replacement's even better.
Black Hole Sun, repeat, full blast.
Experienced leader, veteran leader. He drives a Lambo, so people on the recruiting board didn't believe me. Yes, he drives a Lambo.
How does he even fit in a Lambo?
Yeah, I know, right? Why would you even want one? Get a fucking F-350 or something crazy. Like, get a big truck.
Welcome to Season 7, Episode 3. I almost fucked that up and said Season 3 something, but just...
Who knows? Who even knows? We still might be in Season 3. I mean...
You know, we're further than we did. We got further than Season 6.
I don't even know if we had a Season 5. I think we jumped from 4 to 6. But I think that's fine. You know what? It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I think the most important thing with this is that we're here. We're present. We are here with clear minds, clear hearts, and we are ready to discuss the boringness of the offseason, which is great.
I mean, the offseason is, it's full on up and running right now. That's where we're at. Peak offseason. We're now done with men's basketball. Unfortunately, done with women's basketball.
Yep.
Baseball, we don't need to talk about because it makes us sad. And
jeez. We've lost a fucking BYU. So bad.
Fuck everything. Anyway, peak off season, but we do have some stuff to talk about because the football team is spring practicing now. We've got some people that have had a vantage point, maybe from behind the bleachers, to see what's going on.
Might know.
And yeah, we know a guy. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, very exciting stuff going on. There's a lot of Kool-Aid to drink, and I'm not sure what to even make of it because usually you're just trying to get people excited or whatever. And on Surly in our thread that documents the spring to the fall, people are just confused on what to do. It's like Ricky Bobby in the interview where he doesn't know what to do with his hands. Like, nobody knows what to do because at every position group, there is some mild concern, and that's about it. But we'll get into that. Get into that later on.
Yeah, I was about to say, we still got a whole portal to go through, but...
Yeah, we do. All right, so... things are happening to you, RGB3. How new are these things?
RGB3 Girls, Operation RGB3 Girls is in full effect. We are 3 weeks into it, which is why we skipped a couple of these episodes. But yeah, we're about 3 weeks into this now, almost a full month of newborn dad again. So for those that don't know, I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and now a newborn. So I am what they call in the shit right now, literally and figuratively. Forgot about blowouts. That's probably the biggest thing about this.
Oh God.
You know, it's one of those things where you forget the just sheer fucking panic whenever a actual blowout happens. You know, I'm not the best with poop to begin with. I'm not Mr. Poop. That's part of the reason why we don't have a dog is because I don't want to deal with shit all the time. But you don't have that luxury when you have a newborn. So the first one sure went up the back, just where you have to almost cut them out of the onesie. You just kind of forget, you know, really, if anything, it solidified in my vasectomy appointment here in about another month. It was literally not rearranging that bad boy after this. But yeah, you kind of forget, and the sheer panic. So I think that's what caught me. So we've only had one true blowout. There was another one that was kind of iffy. It definitely got got on the clothes that you have to change them, but it wasn't a full-on blowout. But that one that was just iffy happened in the middle of the night. So kind of my schedule is, we have a normal day, and then the middle of the night, I feed her about midnight, and then my wife feeds her at like 3. So we kind of split those duties. Well, at midnight, my beautiful daughter decided just to unleash hell into her diaper, just absolute unleash fury into it. So no worries. I start changing it. Not a big deal. Wipe her up. She's good to go. Have her ass in the air. Have her little legs up in the air. Everything's clean. Everything's good. And I'm doing this on the couch because I don't want to wake my wife up in our room. So I'm just doing it on the couch. No big deal. I didn't think to put anything down. Why would I think that? That would be just too fucking smart, right? So I have this bare-ass baby on the couch, and she unleashes again, bare-assed. So she is shitting all over the couch, all over her onesie that I just put her in, all over my hand, because my initial animal instinct said, "Hey, Rob, just catch this in your hand." So I have a hand.
I just have peak anxiety listening to you right now. I'm just like, I have the most anxiety.
It's just me and her. I'm not waking my wife up for this. I'm not going to hear the end of that. So you know what? I'm just going to
handle it.
With it. I just
handle it.
Yeah, you just handle it. That's what you do. So I ended up taking the diaper that I had in hand, the fresh one that I had in hand, and at this point, I'm out of wipes. Our wipes are in the bedroom. I'm in our living room on the couch. Fuck it. So I take the diaper, and I wipe her butt with the diaper, trying to catch it, plus wipe my hand, throw it in the bag. She's still just covered in poop. I finally have enough to where I can safely walk over, grab more wipes, grab another diaper, grab another bag, and at this point, the couch is just covered in shit. And this is before I even feed her. Just the couch is covered in shit. My hand's covered in shit. She's covered in shit. It was, and I was just like, well, I'm just gonna have to give her a bath. Like this, there's no coming back from this. But I wiped her good enough. She was clean. Got her wiped, got her cleaned. Everything was good. But let me tell you, it takes a couple years off your life whenever you realize, holy shit, it's still coming. It was like a fountain of poop. It was like one of those chocolate fountains that you dip strawberries and marshmallows in. It just kept coming, just liquid.
So at least though, at this phase, they haven't like she's still just on milk and formula.
Yep, exactly.
And so at least you don't have the human smelling shits. That's what a lot of people don't realize that have never had babies, is that poop is still very much poop whenever they're an infant, but it doesn't smell nearly as bad as like normal human waste.
It basically, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty foul. It's pretty foul right now. Is it as bad as, when I go to buy one, get one at Buffalo Wild Wings and do harmful things to my body? Is the smell that bad? Not yet. But I'm sure it's coming. And once you introduce solids, game over. Forget about it. It's the worst. Because, I mean, those are some grown man shits once they start introducing. There's
nothing you can do. Like you can't. It's just like an open faucet that like you can't turn off.
And what's crazy? They're tiny. Like this is less than a 9-pound child. Half of that is poop. Half. It has to be. Like there's no way that. It's just shocking the amount of stuff that can actually come out of a newborn baby. Because you're like, where do you store it? What the fuck?
The good news is this is a good sign that you have a healthy baby.
She is healthy. She is happy. Tons of poopy diapers, tons of wet diapers, which is what we want to see. And she is absolutely the fucking cutest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. Don't tell my other 2 kids that, but she is adorable. She's only 3 weeks in. She's smiling like real smiles, not just gas smiles. She's beautiful. I love her. I just might need to put a cork in her butthole. So she's.
That wonderful invention, a baby butthole cork thing. But those would be abused. People would they don't know how to be parents.
That would end up on like some kind of weird furry website.
I don't know what's going on with any of that.
Butt plugs might not be the seller that would imagine going on Shark Tank like Mark Cuban. I'm here to present I'm looking for $100,000 for 10% stake in my company of baby butt plugs.
Oh, dude, you know what though? Like just along this line, a baby, not like the colostomy bags, but you could just like put the tube in the butthole and it goes into a bag instead of a diaper. Maybe some big brain shit. Somebody go invent that.
I mean, we're in the era of like AI and stuff. Like, how come ChatGPT can't change a diaper? For
it just can't pump the shit out. What's going on?
Like, come on, dude.
I mean, we've got to talk. I mean, we do have to talk. What your and we'll do this after I go into my thing. But we have to talk about what your favorite use so far has been with AI.
Oh, avoiding it entirely has been mine.
Oh,
actually,
well,
I take that back.
I got some good shit. So
sales emails from it. So
I've got so I don't have a new baby, but I have something that is kind of like a new baby. I'm starting a new company that has absolutely nothing to do with sports or anything. But no. And that has been a lot of fun. It's been really, really refreshing to be reminded how much working for free is absolutely no fun. It's just not fun at all.
You mean our entire experience with the NIL? Yeah, working for free, actively losing money while working. Yeah.
Well, that's very rewarding. It's not that this isn't rewarding, but there's just something about working and not just getting fed a paycheck for doing whatever bullshit that you're doing.
Everybody's mad that they have a boss, but at the end of the day, it's nice getting that check every 2 weeks. So
yeah, I mean, it is. It must be nice. But that's an experience that I have not had in quite some time, especially not with children and a wife that loves to spend money. So it's been really interesting. But we're doing pretty good, making a lot of headway there. But it has kept me really busy. Another thing, kind of tangentially related to this, but worth talking about, is like the stock market is outrageous. Like everything, like if you have any money in the stock market, you're rich.
Yeah, absolutely. My Tesla's been fucking crushing. Just sold an option there. I bought in at like $1,000 and I flipped it for like $4,000 in no time at all. And hey, don't worry, guys. I'm still diamond hands on GME. If you haven't watched the movie Dumb Money, by the way, about the GME stuff, you should. It's very good. Anybody listening?
It's entertaining. It's a good watch.
Yeah,
it's a good especially if like you've got a plane trip and it's on there, definitely watch it on the plane. It's like a perfect plane movie.
Yeah, great plane movie. Nothing too serious, nothing too crazy, just entertaining enough, just engaging enough. Paul Dano's great in everything he is. He was fucking awesome as the Riddler. Even Seth Rogen was good in it.
That's a good movie.
But anyway, Diamond Hands, GME, never selling, forever.
Yeah, I mean, stuff's crazy. If you're buying any tech stock, AI, everybody's just doing the AI, and it's crazy. We don't use AI. I've tried. We're using this platform, Riverside. They have some AI bits that are baked in, and we were trying to use that for making short clips or like summarizing things. And we're also working. Shout out to Autograph. We're still working with Autograph, and they're actually helping us do a lot of those short clips and summarizations and writing the what this episode's going to be about. Not the script, but like the post thing. And I can safely say that the humans are significantly superior to the AI doing any type of summary or finding good nuggets to post as shorts. Is just kind of not even comparable at all.
They do like the emoji thing, which is cool. Like, because I don't.
Good. And then all the text over the thing. I do think that there is some transcription AI, but that's not really AI. They're not putting that through an LLM, right? That's just like normal transcription shit that now everybody calls things that have always existed AI. I think they're just using some of that technology to help with some of that. But they misspell some of the more exotic names. like Malik.
Yeah.
Can't spell that right.
Nope, can't do it.
Nobody can.
Yep.
Yeah. So what are you doing Monday around 1-ish p.m. Central Time?
Well, I got my glasses. We're going to be viewing an eclipse, which is going to be pretty fucking dope. The last one that went over, I think, was in like the 90s or something. Was that right? That went like full over Texas.
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah. And there won't be another one till the 2040s, at least from over the United States. Yeah. Yep.
So it's going to be pretty sweet. Everybody go get your glasses. Go to Kroger or HEB or whatever. They sell them for like $2.
Do not look at the fucking sun without your glasses. It's just not a good idea.
You can. Like, I'm not your boss. You can do what you want. If you want to stare directly into a solar eclipse, it is on you. You absolutely, by all means, can stare directly into a solar eclipse. You're going to have a bad time, but it's going to be crazy. And so, like, I'm in the transportation industry, and what's crazy with it is people are really freaking out about it. Like, they're saying it's going to be, like, cars shut down, roads shut down. Like, it's going to be that bad.
I mean, could you imagine, like, how much of a potato human would you have to be like just driving down 35 and all of a sudden the sun goes away and you're not like, whoa, right? Like, that's what is going to happen.
That sounds like every fucking driver on 35 anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, how disconnected from the fucking world would you have to be like, I don't care, I've got places to be. It's like, well, some shit that's never happened in your life is happening. The sun is literally gone in the middle of the day, and you're like, oh yeah, I got fucking shit to do.
A twice in a lifetime event, and you're in the fucking drive-through at Taco Bell. Like,
I mean, it's going to be absolutely crazy. I don't even know why the roads, like the major, I get like some things are critical, and that's why they can't just close the roads. But shit's going to be fucking absolutely insane. There's like, if you do not have to drive starting Sunday, like evening, Sunday afternoon, all the way to Tuesday afternoon, like, stay the fuck off the roads. Yeah. So we're gonna have we're having like a little neighborhood party. I'm lucky that I live in a dark sky community just outside of Austin, like literally like the ETJ ends 500 yards from my property. And
give everybody your address. Just go ahead and tell them your address.
Yeah.
Party at Rick's house.
But no, and getting here is the problem. Is like, like, I'm telling people, if you want to come, like, you got to come Sunday, and you're not leaving till Tuesday, probably. So, like, you just got to kind of hang out. But I'm smoking a brisket. We invited people from the neighborhood who can, like, walk over and stuff, and it should be a good time. Schools, obviously, fucking canceled. Yeah, in Texas. They're just not going to do school, so kids are going to be home. It's going to be pretty rad. And I'm stoked for Monday. I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah, I think. And I'm excited to see it. I mean, I think it'll be. I mean, we haven't seen it in years and years and years, so I'm excited to see what it looks like. And I'm a creature of the night anyway. I'm like fucking. Are you a believer in any of the weird whatever? Are you going to bless something with like the black hole eclipse? No, but I
like when it's full effect, you just like do some ritualistic shit and like bless a case of no, like bless a case of beer, and then that's your like eclipse beer that you have later on.
Maybe. I don't know. That brisket idea sounded pretty good. I smoked one last week and it turned out pretty fucking excellent. So I might have to bless a brisket again.
One of my friends
smoke one.
Credit to SC Day. One of my friends was like, unintelligible letters. I don't even know his username. It starts with an E and it's a lot of letters. It was his nickname in college, is what he always tells people. But shout out to my friends who were in a group chat with me earlier this morning making some of these jokes. They were like, what if you had a baby in the middle of the solar eclipse and your first reaction was to take the baby and like do some like Lion King shit with the baby
Let me fry
in the
my
eclipse and
baby
like
eyes
have some black hole, and then have Black Hole Sun from Soundgarden playing in the background,
I'd
full
imagine
blast.
That song, I'll tell you what, R.I.P. Chris Cornell, but I'd imagine that his estate is going to make some money during Black Hole Sun repeat on Spotify. There's going to be that bitch is going to be playing a lot. I don't know a lot of Eclipse music songs, but I'd imagine that's probably top of the playlist whenever you look at Eclipse playlist on Apple Music.
I'm hoping that maybe we can, without getting DRM infractions, get maybe a little bit of that as free use or something at the beginning or somewhere intertwined into the podcast.
All we gotta do is there are ways around that now. We just gotta do like covers of it. That's why networks are always so cheap. Like everybody, like if you ever watch network TV and you listen to a song and you hear it, it's always just the shittiest fucking cover because networks are so damn cheap. They will never pay for the actual song. It's like, oh, I need Black Hole sung, but I want it sung by Alanis Morissette. You know, like I don't want it sung.
Oh my goodness. That would be a wild song. We should commission that.
Eclipse playlist on Apple Music. Let's see what we got. All right, so we have Eclipse by Pink Floyd. That makes sense. Eclipse by Enya. I can't imagine that's good. There's quite a bit of Eclipse songs here. Let's see. I don't even know who.
There's what about just the Eclipse song? It's not Eclipse. Clips.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. There we go. That's a good one. Total Eclipse of the Heart is the was it Dan and the Flash Band or whatever from Old School? And I need you now tonight. I fucking need you more than ever.
Oh man,
Sunshine. That's pretty good. Space Oddity. Moon Dance by Van Morrison. Black Hole.
I'm just gonna listen to Black Hole Sun on fucking repeat. Fuck that playlist. Black Hole Sun, repeat, full blast.
That's Bill Withers. You know that.
Yeah, I mean these are all really really good songs.
Kashmir
right.
by Led Zeppelin. That little get the lead out.
So let's talk a little bit about surprising breaking news this week. Apparently Travis Scott decided to show up at football practice and he tried to return a punt in full on. Look, I don't know how those pants stayed on.
It's crazy. Like my fat ass, my pants fall off all the fucking time with a belt. That man was not wearing a belt? He's holding them with one hand and holding a football in the other, and he's running like a 4.9, like a 4.8 40. I can't.
Yeah, and did you see how big the diamonds in his ears were? They were so big, they were like flopping around. It's like, what is going on here? Anyway, I guess the kids are real into it, and there's this.
They woke up at 4 a.m. to go get the merch or whatever. Like the merch sold out before the store even opened.
So Travis Scott, Cactus Jack, which I guess is his clothing brand, where he just puts like spiky things on stuff, and the Texas Longhorns, specifically on some of the football merchandise, did kind of a 3-way collaboration, and it's been hype. It's been really good. I think obviously Travis Scott, and I was gonna make a T-Pain joke where I was like, T-Pain came, but then not the same. I love T-Pain. I think I would have been more excited about T-Pain, but I'm old and not, in the Travis Scott generation. I mean, but I think this has been used. Yeah. Obviously, Travis Scott's trying to make money off this. He doesn't actually give a shit about college football because he's been going like on a tour. He went to a bunch of different schools and stuff. So good on him. He's a great businessman. Married or deeply involved with a Jenner. So that there's probably something going on with like they know how to extract capital from the American consumer in especially targeted ways. So good for them. But I think all these other places, you know, it's good for the school. It's a little bit of revenue for that and like, you know, a little bump. But Texas took it to a whole different level on how they're pushing it on social media, the interaction, the using it as a recruiting tool. I haven't really seen anybody else try and frame this and use this as a recruiting tool. And Texas is really just on top of it. Shout out to the media department. They're just doing a lot of really good things. If they're this on top of it for something that's going on in the spring and the peak of off season, I just really can't wait to see what they're going to be putting out in the middle of next season. And I think there's going to be a little bit more creative freedom for some of this content that is either in shorts or a little bit more free form outside of a studio content once the Longhorn Network goes away. I think they're going to reinvest a lot of that effort and time into kind of a more modern feel of interacting with the players. And so I'm looking forward to all of that, and hopefully we can be a big part of what they're doing whenever that comes up.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I mean, I think one thing that's pretty sweet is just one thing that Sark understands is the power of shit like this. And it's nice. Texas is the cool school again. You know, it's been a while since Travis.
It's been a long time.
You know, you think he's showing up with Tom Herman? You know, like there are some jokes that I'm abstaining from right now about Travis Scott and crowds. So just to be on the safe side, because he is kind of a piece of shit. But he's from Houston and his music's fine. I don't even really know any Travis Scott songs. I think what's
I know that one sicko mode.
Okay, I know sicko.
That's the only one that I know. That's the only one that I know. I've never really listened to any other songs from him. Apparently he's a really good producer. He gets people crushed at music festivals. I don't know. People are really into his music. Not for me.
Whenever I think of Cactus Jack, I actually think of somebody that you look like. Mick Foley. I think of Mick Foley, the wrestler, Cactus Jack. Wow.
So whenever I think of what Cactus Jack, to me, I thought Cactus Jack was an adult beverage, like a wine cooler type thing, because that's just where my head went. Yeah, but I don't know. Like that's how not into pop culture and I guess whatever genre trap music. I don't know. You know what I've been listening to? Lawyers, Guns, and Money from Warren Zevon, because my son is strangely obsessed with really obscure songs that he hears. So he loves the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's like, loves that song. Oh my goodness. Wait, yeah, Cactus Jack.
Doesn't look like you. Don't tell me this doesn't look like you a little bit. Yeah, just the finger guns. WrestleMania this weekend. I've been following wrestling since like 8th grade, maybe 6th grade, growing up. I'm going to watch WrestleMania this weekend solely because we're talking about it right now.
Wait, is Jake Paul is is it Jake or it's one of those, it's Logan. One of the idiots.
I think it's Logan.
Yeah, Logan Paul, yeah. Right? He's a wrestler now in the WWE, right?
And I think he's like good. And I know The Rock's like back in it now. So I don't know.
The Rock's back?
Now all wrestling's on Peacock. So The Rock's back. So wrestling's on Peacock now. So whenever I go to watch The Office or something like that, I always see wrestling highlights. And I saw WrestleMania. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking watch WrestleMania this weekend. Why not?
Wow.
Like, who's stopping me from watching WrestleMania?
All right. We got to talk about spring practice. So,
oh yeah.
If you've been busy, you haven't had much time to catch up, you don't know what to do, you don't know what's going on, there's a couple places you can go. There's you could go to Surly and check the spring thread, or if you're really interested in people that are actually attending practice and have real opinions that are grounded in reality, because they're not really sunshine pumpers. They're just like realists. Go check out the content that On Texas Football is putting out. It is like from the people that are the best in the business, and they're going to give it to you straight. But there is, there's not a whole lot to be super concerned about right now.
Because we're good. That's what's crazy. People coming back,
like
even seeing how
the
much
most concerning thing to me. Yeah, the most concerning thing to me right now with spring is there are currently 89 scholarship players. There's only 85 scholarship slots.
Yeah, we're going to lose a bunch of those dorks. Max Merrill, your time on the roster is looking abbreviated, sir.
Gotta figure out, and for those that don't know what a JAG is, it's
just another
a guy. Yeah, so just a guy. So JAG. And, not to pick on people. Yeah, not to pick on any particular student athlete, but there have been quite a few JAGs.
Cut that. Yeah.
But there have been quite a few JAGs like the last 5, 6, 8, the 13 years that we've been wandering the fucking desert, and completely irrelevant. So that's what's really actually fun about this spring is most springs there's been at least one position where you can just kind of pick on, you can just bully it and be like, that's a clear hole. And it was impossible to fill in the transfer portal, or just there's a young guy that's going to come up that's hopeful, but they're just not ready yet, blah, blah, blah. And then you end up with some person that probably is a walk-on that is not going to start anywhere else, but because there's nobody else that can start, they're going to start. And this season, that's just not the case. There's just not the case.
Luke Brockemeyer was a starting linebacker for the University of Texas for 3 fucking years as a walk-on. His other only scholarship offers was Rice. I mean, there are no holes like that. The only thing I can think of is defensive tackle, but that's because you lost 2 dudes that are going to be top 2 round picks.
I mean, you lose 2 round 1 NFL guys. Yeah, and you've got Vernon Broughton and Alfred Collins. Come on. Yeah. They start at least at 50 other schools.
Yeah.
Are they going to be as good?
We're going to get, my guess is we get another big name out of the portal with defensive tackle, and then it's just filling, if you go down the roster, quarterback set, running back set, wide receiver set, tight end set,
defensive backs. Defensive backs are the only thing that it's we don't know, because there's a lot of young talent back there. But
tons. Yeah.
Tons of young talent, but they didn't it wasn't guys that were getting blown off or blown coverages. It's just do they have the maturity and are they going to be able to see the field the way they need to see the field? Yeah. The athletic ability on all those guys, they all have the closing speed. There's really nothing left to be desired there. They all have hands. They're all ball hawks. All of that foundational physical attribute is there. And now it's deep into the system. We've got some guys in the secondary that are the on the field leaders that can call out what's going on. We'll see how big, the communication jump staying in the same system is going to be.
Coach on the field, just call Michael Taft by name, okay? You see white safety, and you're going to say spark plug, lunch pail guy.
Look,
coach on the field.
He recruited Arch Manning, so he's got a head start on his coaching career, right?
That's right.
He's a coach on the field. They just need to get a clipboard in his hand. Just get him a clipboard and a fucking whistle.
Yep, that's it. But what's nice is you do have a guy like that, but you also have an experienced starter, Makuba, that's going to be able to come up and do the exact same thing at a more athletic level than Taft, as well as you have 2 5-star safeties from the past 2 classes in Philisame and Derek Williams, Derek Williams is going to be an absolute. If we're going to do breakout players, he's going to be a first round safety. That guy is fucking scary good. He has the athletic traits, and he is not afraid to come in and thump. That dude's scary. You don't go across the.
And the edge, like when you're talking about like guys like Justice Finkley being like the weakest guy who's not even particularly weak, like very disruptive still.
He'd started almost every other P5 program. Like Finkley is
every other one. I mean, yeah, and those are the kind of guys that you got to worry about. Like, well, I mean, do they stick around? Yeah. Do these guys stick around? Because we're starting to get from an edge perspective. We had a lot of young guys that, from a physical perspective, they needed to fill out. But like when you look at Ethan Burke and Colton Vasek now, it's like they're starting to really put that meat on the frame. They're in there. It's looking good. We've got Trey Moore coming in from UTSA, who has been just a non-stop havoc engine. So I think what is lost on the interior defensive line, you start to see the exterior defensive line start to be more disruptive. And then, it's not that they're being particularly exotic in practice, but losing a guy like T'Vondre Sweat, who's like a true nose type, and going to a different look, and what you're able to do with people that aren't Sweat from a physical package and whole swallowing disruptive perspective, I think is going to unlock the potential that we didn't see from some of these other players like a Vernon Broughton or an Alfred Collins.
I think Alfred Collins, if anybody, Alfred Collins stands to make the most money out of anybody at the University of Texas.
Yeah, he can have this is his T'Vondre Sweat year.
This is his T-Sweat year. Absolutely. This is his year he has every capability to be a first-round defensive tackle. All he has to do is get it between the ears and put the effort on the field. And this is his chance to go from a guy that I think if he declared this year, he'd still probably be a fifth round guy. He could absolutely put himself in the first round conversation with a monster year in the SEC. Because at that point you're just checking off boxes. And I really think he's going to put it all together this year.
And we haven't even started talking about the offensive line. We have one non-returning starter.
Yep, that's it. And I think the replacement's even better. I think Cam Williams is going to be better.
Honestly, because he's got a full season under his belt of playing plenty. And this is a really not only just experienced offensive line, they're experienced with each other.
Yep.
And that is key.
Yep, and there are some road graders too. It sounds like Neto is going to be starting at left guard, which is going to be great. The offensive line is going to be Banks, obviously, first round pick. Neto is going to be at left guard. Then Majors, obviously, at center, who's experienced leader, veteran leader. He drives a Lambo, so people on the recruiting board didn't believe me. Yes, he drives a Lambo.
How does he even fit in a Lambo?
Yeah, I know, right? Why would you even want one? Get a fucking F-350 or something crazy. Like get a big truck. Do not drive. You are a large human. Do not drive a fucking Lamborghini. My fat ass can barely get in, and the dude's twice the size I am. And then right guard, you got DJ Campbell, who's going to be a fucking monster, and Cam Williams. That is beef. It's athletic. It's experience. Like the offensive line. I think offensive line is the strongest position that we have, bar none, outside of the quarterback room, maybe, or running back room. Yeah, it's probably running backs, actually. But offensive line is right there in that conversation in terms of depth. We'll have Cole Hudson and Hayden Connor. They're very experienced dudes, and they're going to be backups across the line. That's going to be fucking crazy. Of course, there will be some attrition to offensive line. That's part of the, we're at 89 scholarships. My guess is going to see a couple of those dudes disappear. Max Merrill, sorry, you can keep bleeping that. But dudes like, not to pick on the one fucking kid. He's the only one I can think of. But you'll have guys like Trevor Gooseby, I hear, is great. Andre Kojo. You have these guys that were from the classes before, Peyton Kirkland, that Connor Robertson, there are going to be guys that they might transfer and it's going to hurt, but it's a sign of a healthy program. You don't want your starters leaving. You want your backups leaving. And it might hurt, but guess what? We're right behind, failing again. You know, the roster management, everything is just so crucial, especially with a large position group like offensive line. And I am excited to watch these dudes play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even worried about the running back room. I like the running back room at Texas is so absurdly stacked that it like. And why would you leave? Because the rock gets passed around enough. Like
that's it.
Even when Jonathan Brooks wasn't the guy, he still got enough carries to like show like what he needed to do by his junior year. And so I think that from a young guy who wants to see playtime early, you may not want, you don't want the 25 carries a game early, right? Like save that for your money year and then get out of here and go learn some stuff.
Jonathan Brooks is probably going to be the first running back drafted this year, even with an ACL tear. But I mean, he only put it on the field for 1 year. I think that's the best thing that we can sell.
He didn't even get a full season.
Yeah, the best thing we could sell is, hey, we are splitting carries. You'll have enough for film. I'm sure nobody's drafting the highest, whoever rushed for the most yards anymore. Nobody's, oh, cool, you set a career college record. Well, that means your fucking legs are going to fall off in year 2 before your rookie contract's done. Well, here, like Jonathan Brooks' peak is going to be his second contract, probably.
What I think is absolutely crazy is Steve Sarkisian in one of his post-game or post-practice whatever is talking about the violence that Baxter is running with. Like he's learned how to like embrace being just a completely violent runner with contact balance. And that's something that we just have not seen in a long time. Like, I mean, other violent runners that and we're going to talk about this. We got a Mount Rushmore of running backs, but like,
we have some very violent runners on our Mount Rushmore.
I mean, like, but just a guy that comes off at the top of my head, like Fozzie Whitaker, like, holy shit, that guy, you didn't want to be in front of that guy.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. That.
Yeah. God, no. Well, even like, I mean, going back to Earl, like guys like that.
Oh, yeah, but that's
yeah, it's another level. But I think the biggest thing with Cedric Baxter was that everybody, people were kind of down on him last year. He was an 18-year-old true freshman running back. It takes time to develop division. He can't do the stuff that he did at Florida when he's running over, little fucking 5'10", 160 pound. Now he's adapting.
He's got a year in a college strength and conditioning program, 2 years of off season because he's early enrollment. Like it's going to be, he's going to be really, really fun to watch. And then at the quarterback, right? It's Quinn Ewers, right? Like Quinn Ewers, get it locked in. As long as your shit's right, like
but
fucking.
Arch is gonna transfer her.
Yeah, fuck that. Arch is gonna get plenty of playtime because there's gonna be too many blowouts this year, and so
he'll get in 4 games for sure. I mean, he'll get in plenty of games.
Trey Owens, fucking. They're saying that he is. Imagine being Arch Manning sandwiched between Quinn Ewers and Trey Owens being like, "I'm coming for your job, bitch."
Yeah, no
like Trey Owens has no expectation to start this year. Like that was he's not a crazy person, but ultra competitive. Obviously has the physical attributes to be an incredible quarterback, and is apparently kind of a bit of a whiz kid whenever it's coming to the playbook. So. That's a really, really cool combination to have in your super young guy in the waiting.
Yep.
It's almost like this.
There's no quarterback controversy as much as the national media wants to put stuff out there. Oh, is Arch going to start? Oh, he's going to transfer if he doesn't start. Well, first of all, you're fucking ignorant and you do not understand the situation, and you haven't put a modicum of thought into the situation. No, Arch is not fucking transferring. Don't be stupid. No, this is what's nice is we go in 2 years in a row of Quinn's the dude. He's the dude. These guys are going to be prepared in other ways behind him. And then when it's your turn to step up, you step up. Instead of this bullshit, is it going to be Hudson Card or Casey Thompson? It's the choosing between a giant douche and a turd sandwich all over again. Like, I mean, that at the end of the day, that's actually that kind of fit. Yeah, because I guess Hudson Card would be the turd sandwich in that example, and because Casey Thompson's definitely the giant douche. So especially his dad. Fuck his dad. You can bleep all this, but
I mean, dude,
they're graduated. They're grown men by now.
There was a player on the team who once told us that they always knew that he was a fucking Sooner.
Fakey Thompson is what they called him to our face. We will not say
a fucking. They knew that he was a fucking Sooner deep down. He was just a Sooner the whole time.
Yeah, I'm glad we're past that. It's nice going into a season and really starters at almost. There's not really position battles in general. Like,
well, and if there's a surprise starter, it means that's a good thing awesome. Because like, holy shit, they're really good. They're better than we thought they were going to be.
The only thing I could think of is maybe wide receiver, but you're pretty locked into Jonte Cook, Bond. I mean, all those.
I mean, there's just so many weapons. There's just so many weapons everywhere. It is going to be interesting to see now with with Xavier Worthy leaving. Sark played a bit of favorites, and I think just because of the potential, because Xavier Worthy just had that blow off the top speed, that they overwhelmingly favored Xavier Worthy on some of the play calls. But it's going to be interesting to see if he chooses a new favorite or if it really just turns into a very, very dangerous, super balanced run pass, try and stop us. Every play is the fucking touchdown play.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much, it has to be. And I think what's great is like the only issue with this offense I can see is there are too many weapons. Like, that's it. And, and as long as Stark designs the plays well, I mean, we haven't even talked about a guy like Silas Bolden, who was a fucking star for Oregon State. He's getting a little bit of a later start. But I mean, that dude is going to be utilized in a lot of trick gadget type plays that, I mean, reverse sweeps, just everything's at his.
I mean, Trey Wisner, dude, like all kinds of stuff. Like we just got, it's like these guys that are really hard to replace, like a Keelan Robinson who plays like a really interesting role to like wrinkle in to an offense, especially on like a quick bubble screen or something like that, where you just need kind of the speed demon, quick scat type back thing. And it's like, dude, like that's even taken care of. It's like they're actually going and targeting like these specific wrinkles to just expose people on defense. Imagine having to game plan. Imagine it being Georgia and having to game plan for Texas like now, because they are already.
Oh, 100%.
And like they're trying to scout as much as they can. And I like, what are you doing to come up with a game plan against Texas outside of like make Quinn really uncomfortable?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, it's going to be fun. Yeah, this is the first season that I think it's going to be just interesting to see how things are utilized. I'm more interested instead of position battles. I'm more interested to see what position groups line up together. How much 12 personnel are they running? How many, I bet they do a shit ton of 2-back sets, which is going to be awesome. Imagine having Baxter and Blue in the same backfield, not know if you're going to get hit in the mouth or somebody's going to run right past you. I mean, the thunder and lightning aspect on that shit's going to be fucking wild.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. And even at tight end, are near and dear to us tight ends.
That's right.
On the burn ends.
Gunner's stepping up. Gunner's going to put together a fucking awesome year. And then I'm excited for Amari Niblack. I think he's going to be awesome.
I think that already talking about being a contributor early, Jordan Washington is apparently stepping up. Spencer Shannon is coming along with his progression really nicely. Like, imagine having a Gunner Helm type and then having a literal bigger Gunner Helm type that starts right after Gunner graduates. Like,
he's huge. Yeah.
It's enormous.
He's absolutely huge.
Great hands, super athletic. Obviously, we haven't seen much of him. We'll see some in the spring game. But I think people are sleeping on some of these players that aren't getting much play time and thinking it's because, like, man, they're just not that good. And it's like, no, it's because Gunner Helm is really good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's going to be a draft pick. I mean, he's going to get drafted next year. It's going to be fucking awesome to see.
Jatavion's doing his best to lower his draft stock.
God damn it,
I don't know if he was tired or he was partying the night before. You got to put up more than 8. You got to put up more than 8 on the bench.
It's JT. Come on, hit the weight room, buddy. He'll still be a second or third round pick. I hope he lands on either the Cowboys or the Texans. I think it'd be fucking great. So, who are your breakout offensive and defensive players this spring? Who are you expecting a big breakout from
this spring? Like in the spring game?
Yeah, who do you think when we go into the spring game, you come out of it like, holy shit, I didn't think much of him, but he's going to be a fucking player this season?
I mean, I just talked about it. I think Spencer Shannon shows up and does some stuff that are going to make people really confused and scratch their heads. I don't think that that's a weird thing to say, because the natural transition right now, obviously, is okay. More of the same from Gunner, but just better. And a lot of people don't realize that Gunner's production last season was, and albeit Jatavion was hurt for a portion of the season, but Gunner was a major contributor on offense. Had some really key catches, first downs, some runs, showed some athleticism, really physical. And then, we're hoping that Nyblack is going to be essentially that JT type, where he's more of the pure receiver that can do some blocking and be expected of him. But I think we're going to see something come out from Spencer. I really want to see Juan break out, but I don't know that it's going to happen. But we'll see. And then I think Trey Wisner. I think we're going to see some crazy shit from that kid. Yep.
I agree. I think Trey Wisner is he's gonna really surprise some people. Just because he's kind of thought as an afterthought. Which sleep. Yeah,
I mean, when you've got Blue, who's obviously RB2, right? Like that's clear. Well, and you've got Baxter, clear RB1, and you're like, well, where does Wisner fit into this? And it's like, dude, he fits right in where he fits. And I think he's got a really unique skill set that's going to be on display in the spring game.
Yep. No, I agree. The player I'm most excited to see, and he's kind of going to run with the twos. He's, it's his first year on campus. Daniel Cruz. Center. That guy, I don't watch highlights. I'm not one of those guys like some of these guys on the recruiting board that evaluates prospects and shit. I don't do any of that because I don't know shit about fuck. But I do know that his highlights are stupid. I saw somebody comment on his highlights that said, well, you know what? He's got to be a 3-star prospect because he's so lazy, because he just lays down on top of the defender half the play. That's all he does, is he just pancakes the guy in front of him and then lays down on top of him. It's like, it truly is absurd. If you haven't seen what he's done, it's crazy. I'm super excited to see him. I also think we're going to see something from DeAndre Moore. I'm excited to see him in the receiver room. People kind of forget about him in the Jonte Cook, Isaiah Bond shuffle. I think he's going to separate himself as a clear number 3 on the team before who I think is going to be the highest drafted wide receiver since Roy Williams, Ryan Wingo. Ryan Wingo is everything you want. I saw Chris Godwin comparisons, which I think fit quite a bit. I think he's a stud. He's a superstar. And then in terms of defense, I'm super excited to see Billy Walton. A lot of people kind of sleep on him because, he's, Manny Muhammad's cousin. That's the reason why we took the kid. He's twitchy. He's fast. He can get on the edge. I'm actually really excited to see what he can do while being kind of underneath, less scrutiny than a guy like Colton Vasek, who I also think he's going to have a good spring and good camp. It seems like he's finally starting to get healthy. So
I think, the 2 transfers are, I think, gonna.
Yeah, more.
I think people are going to be really happy and impressed and like, wow, with the 2 transfers. So Trey Moore and Makuba.
I think what's great about both of them, and really all the transfers that we've gotten, A.D. Mitchell kind of set the stage for a lot of this of come to Texas and it's your contract year is basically what it is. Come here, ball out, and you're going to be a first-round pick like A.D. Mitchell is. And that's exactly what Moore and Makuba set themselves up for. Of like, look, you have all this production. Makuba's was at Clemson, so a little bit different situation than a guy at UTSA. Trying to put numbers up against SEC competition now. But Makuba had injury issues. He was awfully used at Clemson last year.
Yeah, I mean Clemson sucks. Yeah, they're fucked.
We are actively seeing the destruction of the Clemson program, and I don't know if anybody else realizes that, but between Dabo hating the NIL and the transfer portal, when you have to love the NIL and transfer portal to win, what a fucking idiot that guy is. But anyway, yeah, no, I agree. I think Moore and Makuba are going to have some awesome years. I think the best thing about both of them, is, hey, go out, ball out in the SEC, get paid. Get drafted high. Get drafted high as shit.
I'm excited for a lot that's going on. Just a couple of quick things before we move on to the Mount Rushmore of running backs and Fat Boy Minute. There's a new men's swimming and diving coach in town.
Hey, you gotta replace the GOAT. If you have to replace literally, I mean, there's an argument to be made that we just lost the greatest coach of any fucking sport ever, like better than Saban, like in his respective sport. What is how many did Reese win? He won like 23 or something stupid.
It's some very absurd double-digit number that spanned decades. I mean, and Olympians, and right. I mean, just like it's just all around.
He has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He's won 15 national championships.
Jeez.
I mean, that's fucking crazy. I mean, that's crazy. Plus his work with the Olympics, plus all that. I mean, yeah. Eddie Reese, congrats on your retirement. Hope you enjoy it. But being able to backfill him with another champion.
Jeez.
I mean, that's
Bob Bowman. I mean, wow. Like, it's just, I think the whole hiring strategy that Crystal Conti has deployed has been phenomenal. And we'll see what happens with basketball, right? I mean, like, that's a little bit of a strange circumstance all around where you hired the guy that you actually wanted to hire, and then that guy is now going to go coach at Arkansas, apparently, which is crazy. And then, you give a guy an interim shot and he proves himself. So,
kind of proved himself.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But I think we're in good hands.
I mean, the issue with Texas basketball.
I'm not sold, but I'm not out.
I'm not sold. I love RT. He's a very, very, very nice man. I do not believe that he is fully the guy. I am fine giving him another year. I mean, I think, just winning in the first, on the first day of the tournament, fine. It's not our standard. And I would hate for us, after we made such progress under Beard, to have just lost that over one fucking stupid drunken incident. First of all, fucking Chris Beard, piece of shit. But it sucks. We made such progress, and we were going to be a basketball school. Texas had set itself up to be a premier college basketball place, and now that's pretty much gone. So we have to reestablish that. NIL is there, will continue to be there.
Yeah, got to figure it out, but it's not as exciting. This season was so frustrating to watch. It was awful. They had some great moments where they looked like they could beat anybody in the country, and then they would just go on 10-minute scoring droughts. And it's like, what the fuck is this team? Anyway, let's get to the Mount Rushmore of running backs.
Oh, and in terms of baseball, I think we're seeing the swan song of David Pierce here. I think this is absolutely not our standard. Losing to BYU in a fucking series is not our standard. So David Pierce, start packing your bags. And hey, Texas A&M, just know that your coach and our athletic director are best friends. And I'll just leave it at that. They text every single day. Not saying it's happening, But I'd imagine that there would be, and imagine the fucking laugh riot that would be of stealing.
I just think that David Pierce makes me big sad.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck you, David Pierce. You're an asshole too. That's the thing. It's like, okay, you can be an asshole. You better fucking win. You better win a lot. Dickbag.
All right. All right. Who is your first pick? Mount Rushmore Texas running backs.
All right. I'm sure I made people mad last time with my adding Major Applewhite. I'm going to try to make people mad again. Number one overall, to me, there's a clear number one, there's a clear number two, and then chaos after that. Clear number one for me is Ricky Williams.
How's that controversy?
Everybody would say Earl. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would say Earl, but I think Ricky was, especially at the University of Texas, I think Ricky was easily the best running back that we've ever seen. He's what got me into Texas football. I remember, I was probably 8 years old and just yelling, "Run, Ricky, run," because my dad taught me that. That was my childhood growing up, was watching Ricky Williams just fucking pulverize people. Do yourself a favor if you haven't in a while. Go watch
the whole highlight reel. It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible.
It's absolutely incredible. Sure, he's had his downs off the field, but in reality, it's just a little bit of weed, man. Like, that's the thing with it. Like with Ricky, like they don't even drug test for weed in the NFL anymore. He got suspended for a full fucking year because of
okay. So I was gonna go with Ricky number one, okay. But I guess I'll go Earl number one. For the balance. And your number two is clearly Earl. My number two is, I guess, Ricky. How can you not 1A and 1B, really? Really, that's not even fair, because that's even kind of ranking them. They're both just so good.
And let's get one thing clear too while we're starting this list. Any other school in the nation outside of, I'll listen to one argument, Alabama, we are RBU. Texas is running back university. Alabama is the only other person that could challenge us for that title. Otherwise, I hear Penn State, no, go fuck yourself. Penn State is not anywhere near. We are running back university, 1,000%. Don't be silly. Just going down the list, you'd be fucking shocked. And you know what's funny? Who do you think Texas A&M's best running back ever? Can you name one that in the NFL has had just massive A-Chain after his rookie year last year? Outside of
what about Japorky? What about Japorky Lane?
Oh yeah, big old thick boy. You know what's crazy about this list though? We're gonna be leaving off some crazy dudes.
Insane.
So Earl Campbell. Also shout out Earl Campbell sausages. Earl Campbell sausages are fucking
really good.
Great.
Fantastic.
Really great. Yeah, the Earl Campbell Red Hot sausage, dude, fucking great sausages. That, a little bit of mustard on it, and on a fucking hot ass charcoal grill. Oh, yeah, that's summer eating right there. All right, so number 3 for me, I'm going Bijan Robinson.
Dude, come on! You gotta quit stealing my order. We got the same Mount Rushmore.
I think we're going to
maybe number 4. Maybe number 4 we depart. Bijan is special, and Bijan only played right. Tom Herman fucked him his freshman season.
Just wasted his whole freshman year. You knew you only got 3 years of Bijan, and we wasted one of them.
Yeah, and then year 2 of Bijan was absolutely just he didn't have a quarterback.
No. He did it himself, and 5 and 5.
Do you remember that TCU game? What did he have? 36 carries.
Wasn't enough. Yeah, Bijan is a special human, special runner.
You see it now in the NFL. His first season in the NFL, insane.
And people were like, "Well, number one, fuck you, Arthur Smith, you fucking FedEx bitch.
He out,
gone forever." And he has a quarterback now, Kirk Cousins. Bijan is going to go off. I cannot wait
It's gonna
to
be-
overdraft him in every fucking
crazy.
fantasy league again.
He's
He's
gonna be
going to
crazy.
go absolute crazy. They have the offensive line. Finally, we're not going to get Arthur Smith. Ready for this? He ran 3 plays at the goal line, 1 yard line. They're at the 1 yard line. He ran Desmond Ridder sneak, stopped. Tyler Algier rush up the middle, stopped. What? Oh, third down. Let's just put Bijan in space. Let's see what we can do. Right? Wrong. He ran a tight end reverse to Jonnu Smith on the 1 yard line instead of handing it off to Bijan Robinson, and then he kicked a field goal. Fuck you, Arthur Smith. That's what happens
And
whenever
in
you
spite
fucking
of all of
play
that
defense.
and being actively, basically Vince Young'd by his coach, Bijan, his rookie season, still put up franchise-breaking, record-breaking numbers.
Yep.
And
Ankle-breaking numbers as well.
was very obviously to anyone with eyes the standout rookie running back. Period. Like, I mean, it was fantastic. All right,
Number 4.
who is number 4?
I want you to go first.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. Rest in peace, Cedric Benson.
Okay, good. We're adding some discord. So I was between Cedric Benson and mine,
Jamal
Charles. Yeah,
I
Jamal
know.
Charles.
God, I almost chose Jamal too.
And we're forgetting Donta Foreman. Donta Foreman had a 2,000-yard rushing season. I mean, Donta Foreman was a fucking excellent running back. Then he tore his Achilles with the Texans. I couldn't have been more excited as a Texas fan whenever they drafted Donta Foreman. I was like, oh, but there's our offense.
Yeah. Okay, so Cedric Benson again, a guy. If you have not watched the highlight reel, just go watch. I mean, it was good. And then the NFL career that he had after that, incredible. Just a really good running back. Obviously, tragic end to his life here in Austin, but just like all around incredible running back, super special. And then Jamal Charles, like, Jesus, fuck, man.
The highest yards per carry average of any NFL player of all time. I mean, that's all you have to fucking say. I mean, he was an absolute monster for the Chiefs. Monster before the years of Patrick Mahomes and all that.
Yeah.
He was the Chiefs. I mean, it was him and I feel bad.
Priest,
Even,
yeah.
Priest. Yeah, I love Priest. Love Priest.
I mean, there's so many running backs that you just that like there's only 4 spots, guys.
Yeah, like a guy like Eric Metcalf. I loved Eric Metcalf. And some of even these older guys that we don't even know. The Roosevelt Leaks. I always hear about him.
Yeah.
Steve Worsters and those kind of guys. But I mean, Jamal Charles was just lightning. I mean, he was the fastest dude on the field every time he touched the field.
It was wild. Those highlights are cool to watch because they're a lot of breakout speed, whatever types. They're not as like awe inspired. Like Ricky Williams highlights are all over the place, man.
Yeah.
He did everything.
What's crazy is all Jamal Charles highlights. It's like 1 second of action, and then he's past the second
and then he's gone.
already.
Yeah, and he's gone.
And he's got 10 yards like past him. Jamal Charles was fucking crazy. And you know what? And I'm going to give a shout out to Jonathan Gray. He did not have the career that he should have because of injuries. Man, him in high school, you go watch those highlights too. Didn't he rush for like 4,000
dude coming out of Alito? I remember that. It was insane.
Yep. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. I thought he was going to be the next Earl. But anyway, great history of Texas running backs. Jonathan Brooks also deserves a mention in this category. Roshan Johnson deserves a mention. I mean, there are so many players that we could just...
Yeah, Malcolm Brown, like all kinds of guys that are just like...
Yeah, Malcolm Brown. Yeah, he was fucking great. There's so many guys that we could talk about running backs forever at Texas, and we have an awesome crop on the field too. If we redo this in 3 years and you told me CJ Baxter was on this list, I believe it.
Could happen.
Totally believe it. Yeah.
Could happen. All right, Fat Boy Minute.
Yes, let's get fat with it.
So every year we have a crawfish boil. And the crawfish apocalypse is upon us.
Yeah, I was
So
about to say, how rich is your no-paying job that you could afford crawfish this year? 'Cause
exactly, yeah. So would have been very expensive. And so the quote that I got for crawfish that were acceptable quality and size was $15.99 a pound.
Oh, that is
And,
crazy. Uncooked. And,
Uh,
you
yeah,
used to be
and
able to get a
and
sack for like a half sack for $15. Like I remember buying
dude,
crawfish, they were like 99 cents a pound uncooked.
so this week's Fat Boy Minute is seafood boils, not crawfish boils.
Yep.
And I've done seafood boils. I'm a guy that has done boils before. But this year, obviously, shrimp, head-on shrimp from
Shrimp were
the
cheap
Gulf.
this year. That is a nice thing. Shrimp were actually really decently priced this year.
Pretty good.
Compared
I
to
got
fucking crawfish.
huge head-on shrimp. Full Dungeness crabs.
There you go.
Not
Yeah,
clusters.
the crab guy.
The crab. And
I've
then
never been much of a crab or lobster guy. I don't know why. I love crawfish.
and then a snow
I love
crab, some snow crab clusters. But it was fantastic. So we do 3 batches. We start around 2, we end around 5-ish, and dump about every hour so that people can eat and have fun and be merry and whatever. And so first batch, we did jalapeno base, right? So you throw some jalapenos in there and get it good with the boil.
Big can? Do you do the big like pre-sliced can, or do you just get them fresh?
I used the sliced, pickled, and fresh.
Nice.
And so the fresh, the fresh are really adding the heat, and then the flavor comes from
on like your fingers and stuff, where you
Yeah.
get a little bit of that heat. Oh, it's so nice.
So batch 2, and then obviously a shitload of cayenne and other swamp fire, whatever else you're doing.
Swamp dust. Yeah.
And then batch number 2, serranos, cranking it up a little bit. Just
there you go.
little beyond what a jalapeno can offer
Don't say you
from
did
a spice
habaneros on the
perspective.
third. Yeah.
Oh no, we went fucking hard.
Oh God, Ghost.
Carolina Reapers.
Oh, Reaper. Okay.
Reaper last batch. The fucking corn was a nuclear.
Oh, dude, I bet you that murders your lips.
And my oldest son, Gunner, loves corn. He found his love for corn. We go to the Midwest, and he eats the shit out of like the corn on the cob. And that last batch, I was like, "You want a corn?" And everybody was like, "Oh, you're so mean." And I was like, "It's got to learn one day." But he really likes spicy stuff, so he eats this corn, and people are just like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he's like, it's spicy." So, I mean, shout out to Gunner, who also, by the way, took the training wheels off his bike, gave him a little push yesterday, just fucking took off.
Sounds like he's not a bitch. That's it.
Yeah.
Congratulations on raising your kid to not be a bitch. That's
yeah,
awesome.
But the crab was incredible. So we used the Surly Horns cleaver
shout out
to crack open some of these.
Yeah.
And the merch will be up soon. We got to figure that out later today with the merch guy. But merch will be up soon. Cracked open crab and shrimp, big seafood boil with seemingly really premium stuff. Probably about the same cost as a normal crawfish boil a year for me. And I'm gonna tell you that Dungeness crab is really fucking good. It's really good.
I love a crawfish. I haven't eaten a single crawfish this entire year. It just I even went. Well, you know what's crazy? Whenever you go to HEB and like they always do the cook stand when you're there, they don't even have the crawfish there. They're only doing shrimp and
the crawfish is bad when the guy at Fiesta tells you the crawfish is bullshit.
Yeah. No, you don't touch it. After you hear from that dude, you don't fucking touch it. No fucking way. And I love a good seafood boil. I love crawfish. I love crawfish. Haven't had it in forever because just can't.
Crawfish apocalypse.
Yeah, hopefully Louisiana, you figure your shit out this next year because I can't go 2 years in a row. And fuck you, every restaurant that sells it. Fuck you. I went to BB's. And I ended up getting a po' boy because I was like, oh yeah, I'll just get a couple pounds. It'll be fine. They were selling it for $18.99 a pound. And then it was $1.50 for a little corn. Per corn, it was $1.50. And sausage was $5. Fuck you. No way. Who, like,
inflation's a bitch. Somebody's got to pay for this stock market to go up, bro.
Man, dude, I would be walking out of there spending $200 bill before alcohol or sides or any of that shit. Fuck that. No way. Not a chance on the planet. I'll tell you this, though. So I have a secret weapon for your next boil. Sounds crazy. It's not. It tastes fucking great. Ravioli. So.
Oh, dude, that's got to be fucking money.
It is incredible.
But like with ricotta inside, like cheese ravioli.
So just get the frozen and just add it at the same time as your corn when you're doing the frozen corn. Add frozen like 4 or 5 bags of frozen ravioli in there. Everybody, I trust that.
Dude,
that's the first thing that goes. It soaks it up perfectly.
Fucking genius. How have I never thought of that?
My buddies did it one time, and I was just like, I'm stealing that. Absolutely. That's the secret. Raviolis. It's fucking excellent. And it's like the perfect... It soaks it up a little bit of that juice, so you get that spice, but you get that same like creamy cheese hit at the same time. Oh, it'll change your absolute life, especially if you're doing like, or you could do the same. You can add scallops, and so you could do scallops and
I've heard of the scallops, yeah, but the ravioli that would be fucking money.
Dude, it is an absolute next level. Anybody listen to this next boil, grab 5 or 6 bags of shitty HEB raviolis. Or if you really just want some spicy raviolis, you could just grab a little thing and do it in your house. You could grab a little thing of the Cajun dust and some raviolis and boil them together. Oh, man. It's so good.
All right. Well, another one in the books. We hope you all enjoyed this episode. Yes, as much as we did. I fucking love doing this. And we have now have it on the calendar from 9:30-ish to 10:30-ish Central every Friday. We're either going to do it or we're not. And if we don't do it on Friday, we're not making it up another day. We'll live stream Fridays, 9:30 to 10:30-ish a.m. Central Time.
Yep. Be here or be in Ag.
Welcome.